One of the things which has been said, which is commonly said, is that, again, this version of a Circle A, as opposed to the Sex Pistols version, looks like it's done by graffiti, right? That this is meant to be anarchism in organization, right? It's an O and an A. One thing that I think is really misunderstood is that people think that anarchists are not organized. People say things like, anarchist groups. Anarchists have groups, or like the anarchist organization. Like, anarchists have organization. Oh, of course, like, that's silly. Why would anarchists organize? But like, if you look today, like right now, with thousands of activists in the streets in DC who are resisting like proto-fascist groups, like, who do you think organized that?
That's literally as we speak.
That's literally right now, right, as we're filming. I mean, and like myself and many other people, many of whom would identify as anarchists, have been surveilling those groups, those individuals who are arriving to DC to quote unquote stop the steal. We've been surveilling them for weeks, months, and years. And some of them we've been surveilling for decades. The intelligence work, the logistics, all of that kind of framework is set up.
So what did he just say? What did he just say? The Antifa groups that he's involved with have been surveilling the fascist white supremacist groups that were arriving in DC for January 6th for years. And they're talking like this is some sort of like organized thing, but they're anarchist groups. The right doesn't surveil the left. The left surveils the right. Now, that's not to say they understand the right, because they don't. But do you guys see what I'm saying here? They're the ones, we are like, and I'm not making this up when I say this, we're like the only fucking group that I know of on the internet that's actually surveilling the left on an activist level, on a collect, like on these small little cell levels, on organizational level. We are the only fucking people doing this. They do this to us. We should be doing this to them.
A lot of the work that I'm directly involved in is observing, infiltrating, and disrupting far-right networks. That used to be more of a kinship network, and that's now more of a digital network. We are able to observe communication channels which many far-right groups would rather not be made public. So whether those are internal chat rooms between a chapter or regional encrypted chats between different groups, we're able to, sit in the corner quietly in a lot of those chats. Some were able to, go through normal vetting processes and just be accepted as members. So if you're familiar with basic surveillance, this will make sense.
But I'm just curious, why would you want to do that? Is there some kind of moral imperative that drives you? What's the end game?
There's a lot of, the general purpose is self-defense. As the popular phrase goes, we protect us. And I think that's really important. I was actually talking this about my kids a couple of days ago. We were talking about that phrase, and we the leftists, we are the people who are protecting ourselves, right? We're the people who are doing this. We're the street medics, right? We're the people who are providing surveillance or weapons training or self-defense training for people in the streets, right? That's not being provided for us by the state.
And they already have all these things set up. The right was so fucking stupid. The right was like, we need to set up a parallel economy so that the Daily Wire can make movies. The left set up a network of fucking people where they were constantly surveilling their enemy, while the right was dicking around with the Daily Wire making a movie. The left was setting up all these systems to surveil anyone on the right that they didn't like, to protect themselves, to set up organizations where they were going to take care of each other. They did it all through the colleges. They were doing it through bookstores all over the country. Like, seriously.